Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture Movie Reviews. My guest today is comedian Links, very funny comedian. If he's in your city, please check him out. One of the funniest people I know, man. Thank you so much for coming on to the movie review.
No problem, bro. No problem. My pleasure.
Thanks, man. The movie that we'll be reviewing is Shang Chi. It's Marvel's newest movie. Um, This will be partial spoilers, so just letting you guys know this will be some spoilers into this. The movie has been out for a little while, that's why we will be talking spoilers. Won't be many, but it will be some. Before we get into it, T-Links, do you believe they should watch it?
Oh yes, most definitely. It's hands down one of my favorite Marvel movies. Right out the gate. I rank it up there with Endgame, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Shang Chi's right there, like right after that.
Yes.
Somewhere in other ones.
Yes, I completely agree, guys. It's definitely a watch. Like this, everything after this is spoilers. Like I said, we're about to dip into spoilers now and review it, of course. Dude, there's okay. Let's just talk about the box office. We talked about early on Certified Comics Show, the other podcast, guys. Please check out the Certified Comics Show. It's me, T Links, Dwayne Nettles, and Mr. Vasquez. We talked about the box office, but I just got to mention again, this movie was not supposed to make that much money. Like on paper, like this movie, like everybody, his people got COVID because of this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Like it was. I thought that worldwide it was going to do well because of the large Asian population. So I thought that was going to be, and I think we talked about it before. I thought that was going to be their Black Panther in a sense. But during the high spike of COVID and a Labor Day weekend in which people were seemingly afraid to go out, that did not, it tripled pretty much all of the highest box office grosses in the last up until this point. Like everything was making about $20 to $30,000, $20 to $30 million during a weekend, and they basically was like, nah, we gonna triple the double to triple that. Like, yeah, it definitely exceeded expectations. And it was well worth it. Like I'm sure when people left, I know everybody clapped when it was over in my theater. Everyone was clapping.
Oh, same here, brother. I went Thursday night and it was sold out. Me and my
Yeah.
fiance got the last two tickets. We sat literally in the front row. Luckily we had the recliner chairs. We looked up, had the movie was good, everything was good. The only thing bad was, I think I said this earlier, but the guy sitting right beside my fiance, he only coughed once. But when I say I felt like everybody in the theater looked at him like oh shit.
This is a no coughing zone.
Yeah, for real. We forgot all about the villain. We was like, that's the villain right there. That's
exactly.
Yeah, I was
And
just like
10 rings. You need to get 10 10
masks.
10 masks. Man, yeah. From the beginning to the end, it was definitely, the buildup was worth it. It wasn't it wasn't a long buildup. So you know how some movies, it takes a little while to kind of get acclimated into what's going on. It was like, okay, it starts off, you find out about what's going on with the 10 rings in general, and his father, and how his father and his mother met. And then bang, he goes to work, and then next thing you know, it's on and popping. And I was like, this is good.
Do you like the fact they left it open? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Oh no, I was just saying that I didn't expect as much fighting in that capacity. It is as far as kung fu and the martial arts, but that was really what made it compelling, because it was unbelievably believable. Does that make sense? It's like, it's not believable, it's not real, but they made it as real as it could be, because he looked like he was kicking ass. Like he looked like he was, he was made for the role. I mean, he put his name out there pretty early. As soon as they announced that they were going to be doing it, he tweeted like, bam, like, let me be the one. And he definitely was a good fit for that movie, man.
Yes, I feel like once Marvel said, "Hey, we killed half the universe. Don't tell us what we can't do."
Exactly.
We solved time travel in 10 minutes. Don't tell us
exactly.
what we can't put in our movies.
Exactly.
What I was going to ask you, Do you like the fact that they left it open ended how he found the rings?
Yes, yes, yes. Because I think from what I wasn't too into the comic book, so I had to go back and do some research to kind of see the similarities and the differences between how the rings actually came about. You could tell that they changed the dynamics of the rings completely, to put a twist on it for Marvel to make their new movies, the movies that's coming forward, relevant to what's going on. Because apparently the rings were actually just regular rings initially, but now they made it into these things that you put on wrist, which I thought was phenomenal, especially when it was used for fighting. So it kind of, yeah, and it was like, and I don't know, I'm not a big anime fan because I was getting older as anime started to become really popular. So it was kind of like the ending of me watching anything animated for the most part. But I'm still familiar with Dragon Ball Z because that's still relevant enough for me at my age. It had a lot of that in it. Like you could see that was they pulled from a lot of things from Dragon Ball Z, which I thought was kind of interesting. I was like, okay, like the moves he was doing, like it was man. They did their research. The director of this movie, kudos for him. Like that was I thought that was great.
Yes. Brad Allen was one of the main people that choreographed the fights. He
Mhm.
worked with Jackie Chan,
Okay.
and so many other people. And he RIP, he did die before this movie came out. He died at 48. Um, how much do you think his what he did for this movie made it successful?
Yeah, since you mentioned that, like watching Jackie Chan movies, it's all about the choreography and the fighting. The attention to detail, mainly the scene that I'm more familiar with as far as I could see the Jackie Chan in it was the scene where they were fighting on the building, on the side of the building. All of those little details when it's falling, the wood popping up, all of those little things to me made it believable. And on top of that, the fight scenes were just executed to perfection. I remember watching Iron Fist on Netflix and was just like this is stupid. Like this is really really stupid. But and even watching some YouTube things or whatever, this was so successful they could actually bring Iron Fist back and make it better in a movie because of the success of this movie and the way that things were choreographed. I love kung fu. I've always loved it since a child, since I was a kid. And that when you see a good fight scene, and then you have probably there's about 5, 6 good fight scenes in the movie, which were long and extended. It wasn't a one 10 to 15 minute clip or something. It was literally minutes into it, where there were people just fight. Listen, that just everybody in the audience was just like animated as well. So I think Brad did a phenomenal job of putting that together. And like I said, man, like him working with Jackie Chan and some of it definitely showed. Jackie Chan's movie, for people that are not familiar with kung fu or familiar with martial arts, if you ever watch any one of Jackie Chan's movies, that is poetic dancing what
Yeah.
he does with every movement and every attention to detail. So much so that some of the scenes that may have only lasted a minute to 2 minutes could have taken 3 to 4 days just to film. Sometimes longer because Jackie Chan was breaking bones. So that's how well executed these scenes were, and you could see that in this movie as well. And I'm sure they didn't have the same timelines as they would have on a normal Jackie Chan movie because of COVID restrictions and how late they started filming this. So it was phenomenal, man.
Believe it or not, man, they actually held this movie. This movie actually was shot like before COVID.
Yeah, well, 2009, the end of 2019, correct? Is
Mhm.
what they said? Okay.
Oh yeah, they did. So the one thing I give up to Brad, and also because even Jackie Chan talked about was, and what I really enjoyed about this movie was fighting hurts. Anybody that's fought in real life hurts. Like in this movie, but he never looks like this. It doesn't hurt what he's doing. Like when he gets
Mhm,
hit, it hurts. And
mhm.
I really, especially when he was a kid, like those
Oh
were
yeah,
some hard scenes to watch. Um,
man. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I used to punch stuff, but I ain't never punched a piece of wood. Like, God damn.
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
what?
Yes, I
Yeah,
definitely give it up to the child actors. None of them were, I couldn't find any of their names, but I thought they're not in the movie a lot, but when they were in there, they were good child actors, in my opinion. Nobody was staring at the camera. That's what was most important.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. They looked the part, acted the part. I mean, yeah, it was just well put together, well casted. Um, they did everything they needed to do right.
yes. One side character, he's in the movie a lot, but he's not the most important person. Just want to get your opinion on it. Probably gonna butcher his name. Had a very great heavyweight boxing career. I don't believe he became a champion, but he was great. Like he was a great boxer. Florian Matuna, he plays
The
Razor
sword guy.
Fist. Yeah, Razor Fist, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
He got to start with Creed, the second one.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think no, was it the first one, second one? I think it's the first Creed he was in. Uh, Good to see him in the movie again. I think he's never going back to boxing. I think
No,
he's found his
no, he
place
he was
acting.
he was definitely the worst actor on the screen, but he was good for what he did. Everyone else did such a phenomenal job. It definitely pointed out his weaknesses. He was definitely the worst actor in the movie. You know, I think he probably rivaled the No Face Critter, but he was he was good for what because he was a big believable character in the fighting scene. But
Yes.
as far as his actual, when he started talking, like the first scene that he started talking, that was terrible. It got better as time progressed, because even it wasn't even convincible, at the part where they were forced to kind of work with each other. And when he was like, okay, I was like, I mean, all right, we're gonna give you a pass because this movie's so good. I'm not gonna let you spoil it for me. But it wasn't terrible. I've seen worse, definitely. But
It
yeah,
does feel like they probably had more dialogue and it was like, cut all that shit out.
yeah, yeah,
We don't
yeah.
need him to talk.
No, no, he didn't need to say anything. But the little bit that he said, he definitely was the least prepared as far as acting goes as everyone else. But it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because his role wasn't so significant that he needed to say much of anything anyway. So it was just the added contribution, whatever. Hey, that's my car. Like, okay, whatever. Dude,
Yeah.
just do your thing. You're big.
Yes.
You played your role. You did what you needed to do. We can get over that. It added some level of comedy to it. It was fine. It was perfectly fine. But yeah, in comparison, to be honest, he was the worst actor on there. But he ain't going back to boxing. Why? Why? Because he's going to make so much money off of this and the residuals that yeah, it makes no sense to do that.
I would like to admit, I'll shout out to Marvel for this. On the bus, when they had him sitting back there like Anakin, with the hoodie and everything on,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, all right,
Didn't see it coming.
if y'all can't beat him, I guess I have to like get up and do it. So
Yeah,
that is
didn't see it coming. He just sat there and was like, okay, yeah, it's my turn
yeah, yeah, I was like, oh, damn, if y'all can't do it, I guess I would do it. Aquafina, man. Aquafina felt like she was the character for us. She said everything the audience would say. She's really the audience in the movie, if that makes
now. Yeah,
sense.
that's a good way to put it. Like she was the eyes and the ears for the unbelievable. To question everything that was about to happen and everything that was happening. Like she was the what the fuck communicator throughout the entire movie,
Yes.
until she became, a heroine herself. So it was, yeah, she did a magnificent job. She was perfect for that role. That was a perfect way to cast somebody, that nobody would have known. Like, because I mean, she's not mentioned in anything as far as Marvel is concerned. Like, she's a newer character, but she's definitely going with him on the journeys.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so that makes it even more, intriguing because she was like, "Yeah, I learned how to do archery in like 2 days."
I saved the
It was
world, y'all.
hilarious. Yeah, it
I
was
saved the world.
hilarious. Like it was dragging in the throat. I was like, yeah.
Yes. I also, and I'm not going to spoil it, guys. I promise you, I'm not going to spoil it. T-Link's not going to spoil it. But it's a joke about his name that is just brilliant. Like that joke is just like Aquafina. Like that was perfect for her. Like,
Perfect for her. That
yes,
was a great joke. Yes, yes,
yes.
yes. And the funniest part about that is I had a conversation with somebody a day before that, and they were trying to pronounce his name, and they were literally acting out the scene without even knowing it. So when I got a chance, I went and I sent the clip on YouTube of them talking about how to pronounce his name, and it was just hilarious because she was literally like, "How Chan Chi," and I was like trying to say, "No, Shang Chi." It was like almost verbatim. And then when they did that part, and then she said that joke, I was like, "Listen, that was definitely a great way to communicate how you know yeah, without spoiling it, you'll find it funny. You'll know when you get
T-Link, I really thought you were going to say some shit like you knew him. And I was going to be like, no.
there.
I was like, no.
Anybody in that movie that I know of
Yeah.
right
Yeah. Review is over. Like, that's really what I was about to say. All right. That's it.
now.
Um, And then we get to okay. I apologize, guys. Simu Lee, the main character, the guy that plays
Main
Shang-Chi.
character.
That guy is like, it's Spider-Man and then it's him. Like those are two most likable people in Marvel right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He won some serious fans with that, man. Did you hear how he actually got the part, or how he threw his name in the ring for the part?
Twitter, I believe.
Yeah, just a tweet. Yeah, he tweeted like he was like, "Hey, basically like holla at me." And yeah, he definitely played that part and definitely a likable character.
Yes.
Um, he did everything right. The acting was well. The acting was good. The comedic. He had a little bit of comedic moments himself. Um, those went over well. The fighting scenes were spectacular. Um, you could see like it almost was like the relationship between him. His father played a phenomenal. He did a phenomenal
Oh, we're
job
gonna
as well.
talk about him. We're gonna talk about him. We'll talk about him in 1 second. I promise you.
Yeah,
That
like
guy.
man, it was. He is definitely going to be one of the like Thor was the man that everybody loved. And I don't know Thor. Um, you know,
I think people love Thor 3. Thor 2, I haven't met one
no, no,
person
no,
that.
not the movie. Now I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about
Yeah,
just him in general. Like anytime like I ain't never had no issue taking a woman to see Thor.
true.
Regardless of how good or bad the movie was going to be. Like there was never an issue taking a woman to see Thor. I had to do some coercing to take them to see anything else other than Black Panther. But yeah, like this is one of those movies where I don't think he's more of a sex symbol as much as he is just people like him.
Yeah.
And it's easy to walk away from the movie thinking that he's going to be the most likable character going forward that Marvel has at the moment.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
so we'll
Like,
we'll see what happens after this movie because, like you said, Spider Man was that person before. Tom
yeah.
Holland was easy to ride for.
Yeah. I really just think when it comes to likability, both of them like are neck and neck with likability. Um, and then we get to the villain. Damn. All right. Tony, Tony Lee Chawa. There we go, guys. I apologize to anybody that actually knows how to pronounce that. This is not me being funny. But I know I got Tony right. And this guy in in China, he is already a superstar, bro. I've seen his movies. I saw two of his movies already. This guy, I hate subtitles with a passion, but this guy is like amazing actor already.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
after seeing him in this movie and going back to see two of his other movies, this guy is just amazing actor. Like I don't think anybody else should play it. Like I'm a big fan of Jet Li. Jet Li plays a good bad guy, but this guy
Yeah.
just steals the show. Every
No,
scenes
no,
he steals it.
no. He was phenomenal. The fighting scenes is phenomenal with he was believable. He was so believable to where it was one of those things. It's like he's a Chinese killmonger. Like he was the Chinese killmonger. You left the movie even knowing that he was a bad guy believing he just wanted his wife back. That's all. He just wanted to see his man, his woman. And then you couldn't blame him for that. Like I was rooting for him to have her behind the goddamn wall. It was like it didn't matter. Like like Shang Chi, you need to get with the damn game. Like leave your daddy alone. Like he got a good. His motive is pure and with intentions. Like that's how you felt, even though you knew it was wrong. He did a great job, man. He was a beast. He
I
was a
love the
beast.
fact that they established him as being ruthless and being just so well at fighting that you the first scene you see him go into battle, he goes ahead of his people and just annihilates people. And it's
What
just
do you need
like,
him for?
oh,
What did he need him
this
for?
like, oh, this guy really is wrecking shit. Like you don't,
Like Moses parted the Red Sea. He parted a whole bunch of humans. Like
yeah, like
it
it
was
just
crazy.
established that he is no stopping him. Like he's gonna,
Yep.
this is what he does.
He's 1,000 years old. He's conquered everything.
Yes,
The only thing he had yet to conquer is pussy, and that was
yes,
a. And once he got he got a taste of that coochie. He gave up. He gave it all up for coochie. Like
yeah.
that was awesome, man.
Yeah, it had to be
That
some
was
coochie he couldn't fight. He was like, "I'm getting my ass whooped right now.
like,
I better get with her before I die. Like this, I, I could die if I don't get with her. Like this, I got
he
to
got
give up this
lost in the
fighting.
sauce.
I got to give up fighting for a couple years. This, I gotta, I've been waiting for somebody to breed with. This is okay. That was too far. That was my fault. Um, my favorite scene in the movie has him in it. Is he finds out that his wife has died, and he goes into that bar or whatever club bar, whatever that is.
Mhm.
When he has his son beside him, and not gonna lie, I even thought the suit was nice, and just
Yep.
goes in there and says his son just points at the table, and he's like, "All right," and just fucks people up amazingly,
Yeah,
like
everybody.
just throwing people
Yeah.
everywhere. Just, I mean, that was the best scene for me because it was just like, okay, you thought I was gone. I went to
Yeah.
get some milk, and you motherfuckers gonna kill my wife.
Exactly. Exactly. It was tough to watch, like at the end, towards the end, when he put that guilt on Shang-Chi. That was tough to watch. That moment where he was like, "You did nothing." Oh, I was like, "Oh, it's so messed up." Like that is so messed up, and he played that part to a T, and it definitely was one of those situations where you just like, yeah, this is a really really good thought out script and everything, and just like I said, the actors made it more believable because I believe he said it as if it happened, and Sean was just like that fierceness that he was taught as a child came back out, when you fighting it. I fought my daddy one time, but and the funny thing about it is I fought him over some Chinese food. So I don't know if it's relative to Shang-Chi or whatever. But that fight didn't last very long. My dad was 6'6".
Okay,
6'5", 6'6", 300, almost 300 pounds. So
yeah,
it was more like, let me just take this Chinese food and take this
yeah,
L and go back down.
yes. I
And
scare I scare my son every day just because I look at both sides of his family, and I'm like, I gotta scare him now. Um,
yeah, my son is almost as tall as me now, but he's so skinny. I'm still good.
yeah, you got him. Um, guys, we're gonna skip over a few things. The ending, when they get to that village and everything,
Mhm.
I like the fact they explained but still left things open ended. Um, that final fight scene, you brought up Dragon Ball Z. I thought it had good things like Avatar and Naruto. Like it was so much anime based in it. But the one thing I really wanted to focus on was, how did you like the music in that scene?
I honestly didn't pay much of attention to it till you just said that. So now I got to go back and listen to it. I was just more intrigued at the movement of the dragon and everything that was going on. And like I really wasn't paying attention to the music. I honestly didn't pay attention to it. So that's something that I might want to go back and revisit.
Okay.
Um,
Have you ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden
yeah,
Dragon?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
it
listen,
really,
you can't be a kung fu fan if you hadn't seen that.
yes. when it comes to that movie and then comparing it to this movie, how'd you like how the wire work has evolved through time?
Oh yeah, like yeah, because you could see the movements in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like you could see that it was new for that time, but you could tell that it was not organic. You know what I'm saying? Now you cannot tell. Like they're literally walking on invisible wires. Like it is definitely a change. And what's not real is computer generated, so it makes it even more realistic. Like you look at movies back then, and you could tell that things were just images and based on the screen. That dragon looked like it was you could touch it. The fight scenes with the dragon and that creature within it, like all of those things were so realistic that you couldn't even tell unless you broke it down and played it in a slow reel, and you could probably see the screens behind the actors or whatnot. They made it look as realistic as possible when Shang was using the rings to move himself, him and his father both, like all of those things were awesome. Like they were as real as you could get. Not and what they used, what I think that made me like the colors in the rings were used to mask some of the movement, which I thought was good as well. Like
Yeah,
when he thumped it down, when he put it down, and you'd see like a blast, and then the character would leave. That was a good way to mask whatever generated, computer generated, or whether it was a wire or whatever, the movement of the characters.
nice, nice. I totally agree. Um, so 1 through 10, what would you give this movie?
It's 9. It's I don't even know if I don't. I'm tough at giving something a 10, but it was definitely. I wouldn't argue if somebody gave it one.
Yes, I
I
totally agree
definitely-
with you. I give it a 9. Do you believe that this movie will become a part of pop culture?
Yes, yes, yes. I think that they didn't know there was it was a hidden jewel, and after the failure of Black Widow, like this is definitely what Marvel needed.
Yeah,
And I don't think it was Black Widow's fault, because Black Widow wasn't a bad movie. It was just I don't know, Miami Vice-ish. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was
yeah.
it, it was
I
just
get
too
my
much
Black.
for what it was worth.
I get that Black Widow was just made to set up the new Black Widow. That was pretty much the whole reason why they made the film. But you can't act like she's gonna die when we know how she's gonna die. It
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
it just they kept doing it. I was like, I counted. It was 7 times where they did it, and I was like, no, she ain't gonna die.
yeah,
This,
because we already seen her there
yeah,
die.
yeah. This is not. This isn't suspenseful at all.
Yeah.
My last question for you, very serious question. I really want you to give me your honest answer. The people that were in Steak Eyes, you think they mad as hell right now?
Man, oh God, bruh, they are mad as hell. Oh man, how much money did that movie make? $3?
I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure they like, hey, what the Asian people came for us? This is.
Oh
I thought the Asian people
man,
coming out for us. What is? Y'all
I
saw me in
was
Crazy
so
Rich Asians. What the? Because it's the same lead actor from Crazy Rich Asians.
yeah. He didn't do bad. It was a bad script.
I
It,
agree.
it, it, it was a bad script. He acted it as well as it could be acted. It made no sense because it had no reference to freaking GI Joe. Like it was not a GI Joe movie. It didn't seem like a GI Joe.
Oh no, it's
It
true.
didn't.
I'm pretty sure he's like, if I had sent one tweet back in the day, that could have been me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was I was thoroughly disappointed in that movie. I'm mad that I spent money on it. I re-upped my subscription just to get it, to watch it. And I was like, this is dumb. Like, why would I do that? Like, I could have just watched it for free on the bootleg channel. But but nah, it's just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, well, I ain't meant to move this up, man. Everybody's talking about it. We might as well just go ahead and do it. And I was just like, God damn it, I should have waited until this week. But at least I got enough money, got enough points from that one to get me some free popcorn for this movie.
Oh, bro,
So
you talk about popcorn. I went to see it. I looked at the prices. I said, y'all done gone up.
yeah,
Uh,
the soda's $8.
yes, I looked
I
right
was
at my, because we totally forgot about sneaking stuff in the movie. We don't do that, by the way, guys. I'm sorry, but we
I
totally
do.
forgot if we would be okay. Okay, and we totally forgot that was an option. I was just in there like, man, she got that big purse for nothing.
Man, they were checking. They were checking at the movie theater we were at.
Oh no, they didn't do that. I
They
went to one
check,
in
yeah, they
Harbison.
checked purchases. I went to the one on in Sand Hills, maybe because there's a lot of black people over there. That's
Yeah, I
probably
was
why.
about to say that's probably why,
Yeah,
but
it was Negro infested, but yeah, they yeah, Snake Eyes is, yeah, they're probably kicking themselves at this point.
yes. Yes.
But that's
Thank you
good.
guys. Oh, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and have an amazing day.